Hello, podcast fans. Adam Carolla here. I'm leading the fight against patent trolls who are threatening this medium. It's not about me. It's about the podcast you're listening to right now. If I go down, this show could be next. So visit fundanything.com/patent troll for more information on how you can keep podcasting alive. Thank you and mahalo.
You are now listening to the Jay Porks Experience. Listen free on iTunes or at theandydareshow.com. Now, here's Jay!
Yo, what is the word, people? Welcome to another action-packed edition of the Jay Porks Experience. I'm Jay Porks. With me, as always, on the other side of the glass, making sure this is a well-oiled podcast machine. Every week, let me double-check the name here, is Nobody. Got a few things to get. I feel like I'm always saying I have a few things to get to. I'm never going to say I have nothing to get to. And so, it's either a few things or a lot of things. So sorry if I start to sound redundant. But first I'm going to give you the list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business. First of all, where I was born and bred. And that would be concertconfessions.com. That's for all your live music. News and reviews for fans, by fans. And you can definitely tell I work here because we have a review of the stand-up comedy stylings of Jerry Seinfeld and Larry Miller at the Beasley Coliseum in Pullman, Washington on April 12th. And you could check out a couple of videos and some words and from our buddy, the Natural Stoner, our Pullman strongest, the Natural Stoner, rocking out. Yeah, I was very surprised when I saw that. And usually when you see, like I saw videos, and I said, oh man, it's going to be the bits are going to be cut off. And he actually timed it very well. It's very well-timed videos. It's tough to do comedy videos, you know. You don't know when the bit's going to end. So you could check out Jerry Seinfeld rocking the Palouse at concertconfessions.com. Also, check out my Meat Puppets stuff. Meat Puppets Moist Boys 2 nights last week in Colorado. I have a funny story later. I have a bunch of funny things later. We have that. We also have theandydeershow.com. That's theandydeershow.com. Don't forget the at the beginning. You always have to remember that. And you're going to go there. I mean, you're probably already there, you know, rocking out to the Jay Porks Experience. But if you're not, head over there right now and check out. You got episode 10 of the Tyler Kale Show. I left my wallet in El Segundo. Hope I pronounced that right. Check that out. I'm scrolling down the page right here. You can get me. You can get the flagship show, the Andy Deer Show. You can get, I mean, all that stuff. And oh, look at it. Andy's got some ads on the side of the page. You should click those. Also, do that at concertconfessions.com as well. When you're at concertconfessions.com and you're at theandydeershow.com and you're thinking about all things Jay Porks, just think to yourself this. Should I buy something? Am I going to buy stuff anyway? Let me just buy it here. Right? Right. ChristinaRocks.com, The Time Warp, 89xradio.com every Sunday morning. She is streaming old school alternative worldwide. You can check it out. It's a division of Bell Media. I was getting on her to play some Ween, but then, you know, I can get on her to play whatever I want, but if I'm not going to wake up and listen to it, then, you know, I's be the fool, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? So again, that's ChristinaRocks.com. It's with no H. If you type it in and it doesn't come up, go to Google Hang the DJ. It'll be like the second or third thing. Yeah, I don't know why. The no H is very confusing because I type it in without an H and it says not found. And I'm like, oh no, Christina's off the internet. But she's not. And also, every week, the headlines here on the Jay Porks Experience are powered by Annie Quiet. That's where I get them, so that's where you get them. Right now on Annie Quiet, Taylor Hawkins sits down with AQ to talk Birds of Satan dynamics and future plans. Taylor Hawkins, drummer of the Foo Fighters, has a band called the Birds of Satan. Birds of Satan. Why did I say Satan? Birds of Satan. And he sat down and had a little talk with another person named Taylor. Taylor Weiss from AQ. You could also highlights from the Anti-Quiet South by Southwest showcase. I don't want to pronounce this wrong, but it's Flea and members of the Mars Volta. It's anti mask, ANTEMASQUE, and they've released a single. Anti-mask? I don't know. So you can get that at antiquiet.com. Along with this, I mean, this website is so crazy, and you could also watch the Dillinger Escape Plan's new video for Happiness is a Smile. What else would happiness be besides a full bag of drugs or a smile? Surfer Blood confesses drinking problem. Talks Coachella for festival fever. It's from AQ staff. We have a Lollapalooza 2014, Lollapalooza Brazil 2014 recap. Josh Homme and his Asian friends go reckless on Queens of the Stone Age video for Smooth Sailing. And Queens of the Stone Age added a few more tour dates. And, you know, all those headlights. We can drive home on one headlight. No. All of those headlines are powered by Anti-Quiet, the website that lets me continue to say that I write for them even though I never wake up early enough to break any news. But let's talk about the story of the week. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, is that when I went to my computer on Thursday night and I checked out the live stream from the Barclays Center, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, I was so amazed. Here's the thing about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. You just heard me say that I was streaming it. I got a couple of issues. AlternativeNation.net. It used to be GrungeReport.net. Changed it to Alternative.net. In partnership with a website called ConcertFly, they managed to have a video feed going from about the worst seats in the world at Barclays Center on about the worst camera in the world where you can't see the stage and you can barely hear what's going on because of the idiots around this guy talking. That said, I can't sit here and honestly say that I'm not a little bit happy, that I'm not happy that that thing got that thing was somewhat made live to the public. So Alternative Nation did a good job, whereas they got it on the internet live. We don't have to wait till, because it's going to air on HBO at the end of May. GTFO. Seriously. GTFO. Get the fuck out. I was telling somebody this the other day. TV's for sports. Everything else I'm watching on the internet, including live inductions to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So, few issues. So, as much as like I was watching this feed and I hated this guy for being so bad at it, at the same time, it's not like I could have switched to another feed. So, I love being in 2014. I love that this was able to happen, and I just want to express to anyone who runs a website who wants to live stream stuff from shows, I suggest getting better seats, and I suggest calling me, and I'll tape that shit for you, because excuse me, I'm a crackhead, because every video, even that video, which was literally, you couldn't get worse seats. It was almost like this dude was trying to have the worst seats in the house. And again, much respect to this guy for making it known to having it live streamed. Somewhat, if you want to call that live streamed. The performances you couldn't hear a lick from the performances, but to at least know what's happening without minus the tweets I could follow on Twitter as well. Me and Twitter were having fun. Yeah, so Nirvana inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Much deserved. Much deserved. That's a slow clap. Now, Nirvana didn't perform at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's another thing. It's another thing you guys got mixed up. Nirvana was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Dave Grohl, Chris Novoselic, Pat Smear, and a handful of selected musicians played songs that night. And the handful of musicians, it was fun. Joan Jett on Smells Like Teen Spirit. And I actually have to look at the list here. We had Kim Gordon play. We had St. Vincent. St. Vincent. Annie Clark came out for Lithium. Kim Gordon was on All Apologies with Joan Jett, Annie Clark, and Lordy. And first of all, I know it's Lorde, but I'm calling her Lordy. Second of all, stop ruining my fucking favorite rock band, okay? Alright? Could you do me a favor? Joan Jett, cute. Great. St. Vincent, I'm not sitting here. I don't have, the Annie Clark St. Vincent David Byrne discography on my iPhone, but I get it. Well respected. And I get Kim Gordon, and I get the women's thing. I get how Kurt was a very, pro-feminine guy, and I could understand that having women front the band would be fun. But get Lordy out of my rock and roll. Because, people were telling me, it's Lord. You're pronouncing it wrong. You guys are under the impression that I actually have a fuck to give. Because I don't. There are 0 fucks left to give about this. And I'll be honest with you. Lordy seems like a Chris Novoselic pick. It seems like if all 3 of those guys had a pick for who they were gonna have on stage, it seems like weirdo Chris Novoselic would pick Lordy. That just seems like it. The accordion man. The jolly green giant trying to change the electoral college one blog at a time. It's Chris Novoselic. No, but I really, I'm just, come on. You were so close. Because Dave Grohl acknowledged the other 5 drummers. He's like, I was like the 5th or 6th drummer. He said that in his speech, which was very, I would have killed him if he didn't. And Chad Channing was in the building, and Chad Channing didn't get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know why. I'm not saying you induct every member of the band, but if the qualifications of being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is 25 years after your debut record, then Bleach came out 25 years ago, and Chad Channing drummed on Bleach. So he should be. I'm not saying have him on. You don't even need to have him on stage giving a speech, but you gotta put his name on the plaque. You gotta put his name on the plaque. He's slamming drums during In Bloom. So we had that Courtney Love came on stage. And now this is the part, I have the stream on. Courtney Love comes on stage and you start hearing like boos. People, get fucking lives. You paid $150 a ticket to get into the Barclays Center to sit there for 5 hours of bullshit speeches, and you're booing this chick? If you were gonna boo Courtney Love, don't show up to the fucking thing. Don't show up to the induction ceremony. You're gonna boo her. And then the most magical moment of the evening was the embrace between Courtney Love and Dave Grohl, hugging it out on stage. Hugging it the fuck out. Courtney tweeted at Dave, "Thank you, Dave. I'm sure he was looking down, happy." And she also said, Courtney Love also said, "I had a speech, but I'm not going to say it." Which, in my opinion, probably the smartest thing Courtney Love has ever, the smartest words Courtney Love has ever uttered. And I believe that was Kurt Cobain's mom on stage, but I don't know because I was kind of in the 400 section. You know, I was in the nosebleeds at my house. Again, I'm going to make fun of the quality of the video as much as I can, but at the same time, I respect these people so much for getting it, for having it live, and I want you guys to contact me because, you know, if you need someone who knows how to hold a camera, let me know. Here's the thing about these, the fan shot, the fan filmed videos popping up from this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony, is that every video I see makes me feel like fucking Oliver Stone. Though with my directorial skills. Are you kidding? Hold the camera straight, asshole. My camera's like 3 years old by now. And my videos from fucking Me Puppets Moist Boys are epic, and I'm getting fucking spit on and cursed at and fucking beer tossed on me. Not necessarily, but I'm getting pushed around. Leaning over balconies. Somehow I always get good video. But somehow nobody... And then you see shaky video like this with shit sound quality, and then you wonder why people complain about people taking videos at shows. They see someone taking a video, they're like, "Oh, it's just going to be that crap I saw on YouTube the other day." Fact. If you're going to take videos, know how to do it. Don't waste my fucking time. You want to take videos on your iPhone and post it on Facebook, that's cool. You want to post little Instagram videos, you want to do it for the Vine, that's cool. Don't you dare take a shaky video with no sounds, put it on YouTube, and call it a performance. That's a fucking abortion. Speaking of abortions. No, not at all speaking of abortions. I fake segue sometimes. You're just going to have to deal with that. And the Courtney Love tweet is the most magical part of the evening. Thank you, Dave. Love you. I know this made him smile up there. And it's actually my Facebook cover photo right there. It's Dave Grohl and Courtney Love hugging it out. Isn't that fucking sweet? Then, after the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, members Chris Novoselic, Pat Smear, and Dave Grohl, they snuck out the back and they went to St. Vitus in Brooklyn. St. Vitus is a rock venue, a club, bar, whatever you want to call it. I've never been there. I hear I should, but I have not been there yet. So they went to St. Vitus with Joan Jett, St. Vincent, John McCauley from Deer Tick, because they sometimes Deer Tick tours as Deervana and plays Nirvana songs, which is fucking cool. Kim Gordon and Jay Mascis from Dinosaur Jr. headed to St. Vitus and played a 19-song set list of Nirvana's most well-known tracks till 4 o'clock in the morning. I am so torn apart about this. For one, secret shows are for people without jobs. This was on a Thursday. Let's just say I sprung $200 to get into this thing, and then you tell me, "Oh, by the way, it's after midnight, and instead of going home, you want to go deeper into Brooklyn and go to watch some random musicians play, even though you don't have any memory left on your camera or and your battery's dead on your camera because you've been at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction for the last 7 hours. You want to do that?" Would have loved to. Here's the thing about Nirvana secret shows. Doesn't seem like a Kurt Cobain thing to do. There's one way Kurt Cobain would do a secret show. If nobody was there. Because you've all heard the story from Charles Cross, the Nirvana biographer, the guy who thinks he knows more about Nirvana than the whole world combined, and he'll tell you. He'll let you know. Trust me. Just ask him. He'll tell you. Charles Cross says at the Nevermind's release party there was 100 people there. 100. And Kurt Cobain was like hiding in a phone booth because he's so antisocial. So do you think that if you think he would have went over to St. Vitus and played? I don't think so. So Nirvana never performed. The Dave Grohl group performed. Surviving members of Nirvana played a show at St. Vitus. And we're going to get to the set list right here. It Smells Like Teen Spirit with the first 4 songs with Joan Jett. Smells Like Teen Spirit, In Bloom. See, they should have brought out Chad Channing. But see, Chad Channing doesn't get invited to these things. Dave Grohl can take all the pictures with Chad he wants. But if he's not going to invite him to drum on In Bloom at St. Vitus, then it ain't real. Where's Aaron Burkhart? And why didn't anyone call the Meat Puppets? Let's just... And I see Jay Mascis is at St. Vitus. Why isn't Jay Mascis on stage at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Are you kidding? Is that a joke? No one invites the Meat Puppets? They're not doing anything. They just finished the tour. They were actually in Minnesota finishing up a tour last weekend. They could have hung out in New York for the week. Trust me, they're not doing anything. I know them. They could have done, like a fire or something. And he not call the Meat Puppets. Where were the raincoats? Where was Bikini Kill? L7. Where was the rest of the whole? Anyway, Saint Vitus. So Saint Vitus, you get Joan Jett fronting Smells Like Teen Spirit, In Bloom, Breed, and Territorial Pissings. And then we switch it up. You get Kim Gordon on the next 3 songs. Kim Gordon fronts the band for Aneurysm, Negative Creep, and Moist Vagina. Yes, Moist Vagina made the fucking set list. I don't even know. I mean, I do know it's a B-side to something. It's one of the later Nirvana songs. And it's a wonderful explosion in sound. And if you haven't heard it, you should go to the YouTubes, check out Moist Vagina. I would check out the original before I check out the Kim Gordon one if there's even video of that, because people went to St. Vitus and they were selfish and they only decided to watch it for themselves. Nobody wanted to take any video. Some video surfacing, but again, it sucks. It makes me feel like I'm fucking Quentin Tarantino or some famous cameraman. I feel like fucking Mick Rock. And then Annie Clark, also known as St. Vincent. Here's the thing. It's confusing to me when I read the set list written on paper and it says Annie Clark, but she's St. Vincent. So St. Vincent came out and played Lithium. And then they played All Apologies. Joan Jett came out to help out on, I'm going to say bass, because Chris Novoselic plays accordion on that track here. And St. Vincent sang vocals on About a Girl and Heart Shaped Box, which came next. Then the real party started. Jay Mascis, Guitar God from Dinosaur Jr., came out and played Drain You, Penny Royalty, and School. Video of School has surfaced. Could be better, but it's still awesome. And then John McCauley from Deer Tick. Now, I think it's really awesome that Deer Tick goes on tour as Deervana sometimes and plays all cover songs, because Deer Tick isn't exactly Queens of the Stone Age. They're not really household names. They're trying to make a name for themselves still. Even if I don't know how many albums they have out. Listen, I'm sure they play good music. I mean, they don't play bad music. But have to sometimes just throw out your catalog and go play as Deervana, and just, half the crowd is probably a bunch of people who just Kurt Cobain heads, come in, never heard of you. To do that, you get my respect. You're awesome. So he came in to sing Serve the Servants, Milk It, another just explosion in sound. Very Ape. Scentless Apprentice. Man, every time I say Scentless Apprentice, I just want to hear that fucking song. I'm gonna go play it right now. And Tourette's. Now, originally I saw a set list where Moist Vagina was the closer, but this is Zach at Annie Quiet, and Zach did a great job. Yeah, Zachary Gelfand. Yeah, he was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Bought his ticket. You know, no fucking press passes, no fucking free shows. This kid bought his ticket. He wrote up a well-detailed write-up. He's got videos, tweets embedded. Really a great job. Just working for this website. And I really wish that one of these days some news happens that I'm informed about, that I can write about and post on Any Quiet. But really, man, the way these guys really get it done. And I mean, I think anniequiet.com should be a website you visit every day because it's just no bullshit. They don't have articles. They don't word their headlines in ways to make you click on it. It's just like, we don't give a fuck. Here it is. This is what happened. You fucking decide. Have a mind of your own. We're just here to report it, and I like that. So there's that. Nirvana inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Surviving members of Nirvana play with Joan Jett, St. Vincent, Jay Mascis, John McCauley, Kim Gordon at St. Vitus till 4 in the morning. Secret shows for those without jobs. So, I mean, listen. You know, so I've been, since this guy blew his brains out, I've been waiting for this band to get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I said, well, as soon as I found out when that 2014 was the year, I said, I can't wait till 2014 when my favorite band can get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And they are. And I'm happy about that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it makes you sad that I'm happy, but I am. Now, if these guys want to continue to play live, I've got a very good idea on how they can do that. I mean, because you're looking at these pictures and you're like, damn, I wish I was in Brooklyn. Wish I could have seen that. Well, why don't they take it around the country? What am I talking about, you ask? Find out more. Back after this.
Hey everybody, it's Andy from the Andy Dare Show here. Just want to say that I am super proud to have the J Porks Experience be part of Dare Network. And if you want to keep my little podcast network completely free, all you got to do is go to theandydareshow.com, look on the right-hand side of the page, and you'll click on the Amazon banners for all your Amazon needs, and you'll tip your cap to the J Porks Experience and all the fine broadcasting here on Dare Network. Also, be sure to follow Jay on Twitter at JPorks, Instagram at JPorks, and jporks.blogspot.com. Thank you so much for listening, and back to the J Porks Experience.
And we're back. I wanted to say sweet words from Michael Stipe, who gave the induction speech, but I kind of didn't hear him because again, the stream that I was streaming was extremely far away and extremely annoying. Again, much respect to Alternative Nation and Concert Fly for getting that done, for having some way in which we can watch it. Now, if it was me, I would have had a camera that's able to take video from the scoreboard in the middle of the Jumbotron. There you go. The Jumbotron thing in the middle of the arena. I saw that the video was playing on that. You know, it's a weird couple of years ago when I went to Madison Square Garden to see Alice in Chains, Deftones, and Mastodon. I was very surprised that they weren't, like, why wouldn't arenas show the concert on the Jumbotron? They have it. Why not just show it? It's not like I can watch the Jumbotron from outside. You know, I'm still in the building. So I did see video being played over the Jumbotron thing, and the guy was still focused on trying to see the stage, which is whatevs. But there's that. Mad that you didn't get to St. Vitus, huh? Didn't see that epic Nirvana set list. I'm very sad that I missed it as well. Which is why I had an idea. Because I'm all about ideas. I'm the fucking idea man. So here's what I did. Call me stupid. Call me crazy. Call me wasting people's time. But I went to change.org and I started a petition. Wanna know why? Because I love 2014, that's why. So, the petition is to Dave Grohl, Pat Smear, Chris Novoselic, and Jay Mascis. And it's titled, I want surviving members of Nirvana to tour with Jay Mascis fronting the band, and have the Meat Puppets serve as opening acts, as the opening act. And the description reads, because unlike Paul McCartney, Kurt Cobain was a huge Dinosaur Jr. fan. Jay Mascis not being on that stage during the induction was a travesty. I say the surviving members of the band hit the road with Jay Mascis fronting the band and play a greatest hits catalog much like the set list from St. Vitus' secret gig after the R&R Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Who wouldn't want to see that show? And to top it all off in a Cobain-esque way, bring the Meat Puppets on the road as an opening act. So, a lot of people say, Jay, that's for serious things. This is serious to me. You're ruining my rock and roll with Lordy. She wasn't even alive when... How old is she? 15? She's 15 years old? That chick was born in 1999. She's fronting the band. You fucking kidding? Listen, there are other... Adele wasn't available? When does Lordy stop being a thing? So, it prompted me to go to change.org and start a petition. And much to my surprise, freakscene.net, a very active Dinosaur Jr. fan site, retweeted the petition and shared it on Facebook with a comment, here is some change we could all get behind. So I'm going to put this in the show notes. I've got 64 people signed it already, which is really funny. So there's 36 signatures needed, I guess, to get to 100 and to keep it on this website. So, what I would like you to do, because really, if that show came to town, alright, even, we could minus the Meat Puppets, because that's a long shot. But, if the band of Jay Mascis, Chris Novoselic, Dave Grohl, and Pat Smear came to your town, fuck yeah, I'm in there for, you could charge me 100, I'm going. Charge me 100 at a $15 venue, I'd go. And we know they can do it because Taylor Hawkins is on tour with Birds of Satan, so Foo Fighters aren't touring at the moment. At this second. So 36 more signatures and this thing gets a little real. So you should sign it, because why not? Why not just sign the fucking thing? You don't need to donate any money. I know that you're supposed to use change.org for, like, my friend has cancer, help me raise money, or, stop child molesters from doing this, but, I just want to see good music sometimes. Sometimes I just have this desire to see good live music, and in order to do that, if I need to start change.org petitions to make to force my heroes into things, I don't mind doing that at all. So it'll be in the notes. I've tweeted it several times. Just hit sign on the petition. This has the potential to reach 10,000 people. If I can get 10,000 signatures, that would be fun. I shared it on Facebook, but nobody cares. Here's the thing about my Facebook friends. You see, I want that. This is why I'm glad I have this fucking podcast, because Friday, Saturday, I'm walking around. I'm looking for people to talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with, and nobody's around because nobody. I mean, people are around, but they want to talk about Kid Cudi and Chief Keef and Wiz Khalifa and shit like that, and Summer Jam and Jay Z bringing out Diddy and not Jay Z, Nas bringing out Diddy and Jay Z or some shit at Coachella. And Coachella. You want to stream something I care about? Not fucking. What were they fucking streaming? Little Dragons? What's that fucking band? Everything they streamed was fucking pointless to me. Way to drop the ball, Coachella. I'm not going to the desert. You're not getting me. I don't care about the experience. I can go to a sauna with headphones and get that same fucking experience. Just bring a couple of wooks in there with me and I'll be good. So sign my change.org petition, because this is change we could all get behind. And you'll see there's also a video of the surviving members of Nirvana with Jay Mascis playing school. And I don't want to be all musician Nazi here. But Pat Smear didn't play on any Nirvana studio albums. He did the Unplugged. He did a tour. I mean, I know he's not necessarily in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame per se, but like Pat Smear's on stage, like Pat Smear over Chad Channing. I mean, it just doesn't. And I love the fuck out of Pat. Pat Smear's the man. I actually saw an incarnation of the Germs in 2009, I want to say, or 2008, at the Mercury Lounge with some actor. I don't know the guy. I forget the guy's name. He was in A Walk to Remember, and he was serving as Darby Crash because at the time I think they were trying to do some Germs biopic or something. So I saw them at the Mercury Lounge, and I was 2 feet away from Pat Smear. His sweat was splashing on me. It was incredible. I touched him after the show. 2 feet away from me, my normal spot at the Mercury Lounge, where I'm always taping Local H from, right by that pole, right by the steps. Always right there. I get to touch my favorite musicians on the way down. So I mean, Dave Grohl, Chris Novoselic, surviving members of Nirvana, and Pat Smear, surviving touring member of Nirvana. I guess the Unplugged is an album, and he's on it. And so are the Meat Puppets. Why were the Meat Puppets not invited to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction when Kurt Cobain loved the fuck out of the Meat Puppets? So much so that he forced the biggest music conglomerate in the world, MTV, to let him have them on stage during the filming of their 1993 MTV Unplugged performance. Come on, man. Anyway. It's fucking beautiful out. I don't know how the rest of the country's doing, but East Coast is loving when it's 70 degrees pre-noon. Because you know what that means? Like last week, when you get weather like that, last week I went to the city, went to Bleecker Street. Now I know I say the city, and if you're not from here, you're probably like, Jay, what do you mean the city? You live in the city. I don't live in the city. It is a city, but it's not a city. For those who need some explanation, there's 5 boroughs of New York City. There's Brooklyn, there's Queens, there's Brooklyn, there's Queens, there's the Bronx, there's Staten Island, and there's Manhattan. Now, Manhattan is what you see on TV whenever they show New York. Downtown, Times Square, all that shit. That's Manhattan. But if you're from New York, you don't call that Manhattan. If you're from one of the 5 boroughs of New York City, say you're from Staten Island, you say, I'm going out to the city. That's the city. So when I say I'm going to the city, or I went to the city, I went to Manhattan. So I went to Bleecker Street. I walked in some dusty old record stores. Somebody said, "Why are you going to the city?" I said, "Because I look fucking awesome and it's nice out, and I'm trying to get a tan without fucking signing up for without going to the beach and without signing up for one of these tanning cancer places." So that's what I did. Was looking for the Meat Puppets Rat Farm, but these record stores looked like they were only dealing in the in the penny box variety. It wasn't a hipster enough neighborhood, is what like if I went to Williamsburg, I would definitely found some hip tunes, which doesn't necessarily equal the Meat Puppets Rat Farm. But all I want to do is go in a record store, find Rat Farm, open it up, and show people that I'm credited on the album. If I can do that, that'd be good. I bought a glass pipe too for $12. Speaking of glass pipes, 10 years ago, 10 years ago today, on April 14th, 2004, I had taken 2 hits of ecstasy and I was being driven upstate New York to Daytop. It is what they would call, they wouldn't call it a drug rehab, but they would call it a place to get sober. Now, what happened was I was on probation, and when I was 15 or so, when I was 15, I was in school, was cutting class with my girlfriend. Some dean told me to take my headband off. I said no. I got brought into the dean's office. Some cop told me I need to chill out. I was like, dude, you need to go fuck yourself. Then they threw me against the wall. They cuffed me. They brought me into the precinct. I'm 15 years old. My dad finally, I call my dad to pick me up. This is funny. I call my dad to pick me up from the precinct. I'm like, Dad, I got arrested. He's like, dude, I'm working. I told you don't get arrested when I'm working. Hangs up the phone. Swear to God that happened. Pops was like, I'm trying to make that cake. Not picking you up from jail when I'm working. So around 4:45, like 15 minutes before they were going to send me off to wherever they were going to send me off for the weekend, my dad strolls in and gets me. And he says, and they make me sign, they give me this piece of paper when they're letting me go, like, do you promise to do this, this, and this? And one of the things on there said, you will not, you will take drug tests. And I said, yeah, sure, fine. Whatever gets me out of fucking jail right now. Well, not jail, wherever they put the cage where they put the 15-year-old kids. 2 months before my 15th birthday, before my 16th birthday. So I had to do family court. I was going to family court because when you get arrested, if you're under 15, they bring your parents into court too. So it's like not only you're in trouble, but your parents are indicted. Their parenting skills are being indicted now too. So I would take these. I had probation, but since I was 15, it was family court probation. It wasn't regular probation. It wasn't like I go to trial. I didn't get to go to trial and plead my case. I went to trial and when they let me go, I had signed that paper and signed away my rights, so I had to submit to random drug testing, which I did. So I was using one of those drinks from GNC called The Stuff, or they also have Golden Seal. Now, you people laugh, those things worked. Now, what I would do is I would keep it in my back pocket the morning I had probation. Go to school, Tottenville High School, roam the schools with that fucking thing in my back pocket. The pants are so baggy you can't tell anything's in my pocket anyway, so it's easily hidden. And then after school, I would go directly to probation with the rest of the popular kids, because that's really what it was. When we got to probation, it was I got more popular when I started going to probation because I got to meet all the popular kids who were breaking the law. So I got there. I would get there. I would go to my appointment, and if I would have to take a drug test, the drug test would be 5 blocks down. So she would tell me, and I would say okay. And I have this drink in my pocket. So what you do is you drink the drink the whole bottle. Then you refill the bottle with water, you drink it, then you wait an hour. And after an hour, your piss is supposed to be clear. What I would do is I would stop at a bar called the Cargo Cafe, halfway between probation and the drug testing place. And I would pee there just in case, to get the remaining bad piss out of my system. And I would go take drug tests, and I would pass every time. I passed so many drug tests, it is not even funny. But the problem was me not going to school. So I wasn't going to school, and when you're on probation, they have access to all those records and stuff. So they're like, yo, dude, you gotta go to school. I'm like, can I just, like, drop out and get my GED? They're like, okay. So I dropped out. I went to get my GED, and I didn't go to that school either. I wasn't showing up because I grew up in a house with no discipline, and I don't get in trouble for doing things. So I just do what I want. That's what I do. As long as it's not murdering puppies, I can do it. Cutting class is not a big deal for me. So probation finally laid the hammer down. They were like, listen, you got to go to school. And this coupled with the fact that the drink didn't work one time. So from the point when I was 15, when I was 16, when I was 17, the drink is working. Then around 2003, let's call it end of 2003, I failed the drug test. Bam. Technology has caught up with me, or I didn't do the drink right, or something. You're not supposed to smoke 24 hours before, and I definitely like burned on my way to probation because I had that many fucks to give. So they told me, listen, you're gonna get your GED at Daytop. It's on Forest Avenue here in Staten Island. You're gonna go there from 8 to 3 every day, and it's going to be school mixed with outpatient drug rehab with weekly drug testing. And I was there 12 weeks. I know I was there 12 weeks because I failed 12 drug tests. 12. Not only that, I got caught buying pot in class in the drug rehab place, the outpatient drug rehab place. So, we were coming up on my violation of probation. No problem. I'm on it's family court. What are they going to do? Well, here's what they'll do. Since I was now 17, they said, you're going to go to Rikers Island for 30 days for violation of probation. No, I am not, sir. You know where I'm going to go? Drug rehab. Fudge that Sunday. I don't get how I can be on the kids' probation, but get the adult jail when I violate. So April 14th, 2004, I take two hits of double stacked ecstasy with kangaroos on them. I don't know if those were any good. I don't remember. I was tripping balls, getting driven to fucking Poughkeepsie, past Poughkeepsie, upstate to Daytop, where I spent 6 months of my 2004 getting clean and sober. And when I say getting clean and sober, all I mean is sitting around every day crying and writing and crying and reading the newspaper. All I would do is read the sports section. And my dad would send me like the fucking stats and shit. And I remember my dad sent me an email describing Eli Manning's face when he got drafted by the Chargers and he didn't want to be on the fucking Chargers and he got traded to the Giants. My dad sent me a letter of fucking telling me how he looked, and it was fucking hilarious. But yeah, good times. So as you know, 6 months well spent, because now, you know, I'm sober. I got my life together. I'm financially stable. I've got a good job. I've got a spouse that I love. Oh, wait a second. I don't have any of that shit. And Daytop went fucking bankrupt. Calm as a bitch, ain't it? Ain't it? So yeah. So today, I am just, I'm so taken aback that it's 10 years. 10 years of my life has gone by since I wasted 6 months in drug rehab. Rehabilitated, folks. Clean and sober. You know, Clean and sober, the guy who takes plane trips to Colorado to smoke pot. Clean and sober. I haven't had a drink since I think New Year's. I don't know if that's on purpose. Maybe I want to not drink. Do I want to not drink? You have to not do something, right? I mean, besides, white bread and pizza. It's got to be something I can not do. So, congratulations to me that I didn't get sent to jail in the last 10 years. The only thing that Daytop did for me is instill my fear in police. See, I don't care if I was to get arrested, like spending a night in the drunk tank in a holding cell, getting a ticket, that shit doesn't bother me the least bit. But every time a cop is talking to me, all I'm thinking about is peeing in a fucking cup, and that scares the living bejesus out of me. Because listen, you can tell me where to walk, you can tell me how to act, you can tell me where to work, you can tell me where to do my banking, but don't tell me what substances I can and can't abuse. That's one thing that I take to heart. Okay? I'm very serious about my substance abuse. And I don't want anyone telling me when and where I can do that. Porks versus Daytop. Porks 1, Daytop 0. Look at me. It fucking drove me. I started writing. I thought I was important. I actually met this kid Shane. This is so funny. Me and this kid Shane were the only ones listening to rock music at the time. I mean, I was heavy into hip hop in 2004. But when I got here and I was hanging out with this white kid, and he was playing like Aerosmith, like from Pump, and I was like into it. He's like, "Oh wow, you like rock music?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like all music that's not techno." So he was going on a home visit. He's from upstate New York, and if you're there for 3 to 6 months, and you do well and you behave, you get to go home for the weekend. This motherfucker thought he was going to the Fish concert. I swear to God, he's like, "I'm going to see Fish." I didn't really know what Fish was then. But now thinking back on it, it's the funniest thing ever. He was so mad when they denied him the chance to go to the Fish concert. You're in drug rehab, dude. You thought you were going to see Fish? So that was Shane. Me and Shane used to do the handshake from Fresh Prince. And I beat him in basketball once. And this was like 100 pounds ago. So you can only imagine his dismay with me. So drug rehab. Yay! Yay sobriety. Where's my rolling paper? Alright. Let me give you the list of websites I need you to go to help keep me in business before I get out of here. We've got the headlines, as always, are powered by Antiquiet. That's your source for quality. We also have theandydeershow.com. That's for all your live music. theandydeershow.com is for all your podcast needs. Every podcast. The Jay Porks Experience. The Tyler Kale Show. The Andy Deer Show. Smooth Operators with Tyler and Andy. All that stuff. Any future hosts that want to join our family. All Deer Network needs are happening at theandydeershow.com. Hang the DJ. Christina Rocks. Hosting the Time Warp, 89xradio.com every Sunday morning, 8 to 12, old school alternative. Hit her up on Twitter at Christina Rocks, no H. Make her play Ween and the Meat Puppets. And for all the show notes, you can go to jporksmusic.blogspot.com. That's shit J Pork says until I find out a cooler name to name it. And for all your live music, news and reviews, for fans, by fans, I need you to go to concertconfessions.com. You will be getting a new review from me next week on the 22nd, because probably the 21st. I got Local H at the Mercury Lounge, April 21st. It's an early show. If I had to choose between having sex with a supermodel or going to an early show at the Mercury Lounge, I might choose the early show at the Mercury Lounge because I enjoy early shows that much. And also, when you're at Concert Confessions, click the Amazon ads because you need to buy stuff anyway. All right. So until then, folks, just don't tell Daytop I'm doing this. A little whiskey, weed, and Warren Zevon. Late.
This has been the J Porks Experience. Thank you so much for listening.